In chapter 3, we go and we finally visit Jekyll's house and see him relaxing, and we see Utterson finally facing him about the stories that he's heard about Hyde and challenging him because he says, Jekyll says, look, I thought we agreed to drop this. I don't want to hear this. He doesn't want to hear it. But Utterson can't. It's not a minor thing stomping on this kid. Utterson says it was abominable. It was disgusting, and he can't really understand how Jekyll is responding. But he says, "Look, I'm in a strange position, which is secrecy. It's duality. It's, reputation. He's concealing to keep his reputation solid." And he says, talking about this isn't going to make it fixed, not mended. And Utterson says something really interesting to him. He says, look, I can be trusted. Just tell me, and just almost confess. Confess to me. What is it? What are you hiding? What does this guy have on you? And you see then, Jekyll continually repeats himself and constantly uses the word good to say, you're a good man, you have a good heart, I trust you more than anyone, and it's not as bad as you think, it isn't what you fancy, in fact, is what he says. And he says, I want to be really clear about this. The moment I choose, I can be rid of Mr. Hyde. And that comment is highly ironic because it isn't true. Hyde is becoming more powerful, taking control of Jekyll increasingly, as he reveals in chapter 10. And even though he says, let it sleep, as if just let it go, forget about it, their friendship is being challenged here. And Utterson shows himself to be a true friend by just allowing it. And he goes, okay. And then Jekyll goes a little bit further and says, okay, look, there's one other thing, though. I know you've seen him. He told me so, and I fear he was rude. This alone is showing us the duality, hypocrisy, and lies that Jekyll is increasingly engaged in. But he says, I have a great interest in that young man. So for some strange reason, he's saying to Utterson, I'm really drawn to him and I want to see him be okay. And if I go, I want you to make sure he gets everything promised him. And that would be a great weight off my mind. Remember, what he's really saying is, if he is stuck in the form of Mr. Hyde, he wants access to all of his money, because if he doesn't have it, then he'll be completely broke. So he says to him, I know you hate him, but you have to take care of him financially. So it looks like something honest and honorable, but actually this is something evil and crooked and wrong, I would say, in many ways. And he says, I can't pretend I'll ever like him. A truly British understatement, I would say. And Jekyll accepts that, and he says, I only ask for justice. I don't want you to like him. Just help him for my sake when I'm no longer here. So this abomination, this creature of evil, who Jekyll thinks he has full control over, he's ensuring that if he ever loses control, or if he ever gets stuck as Hyde, that he'll be taken care of. And this is what is particularly creepy about this moment. And what's interesting about this in chapter 3 is the absolute irony of everything taking place. That there's a hidden story, that there are lies and deceptions, and only do we understand this by chapter 10 or on rereading the book. And it's in rereading the book that all these scenes take on a different kind of sense, because we get a full picture of Jekyll's lies, whereas here, what's being presented is Utterson's confusion. If you're reading it for the first time, you're only getting Utterson's confusion and devotion to his friend, and the mystery still remains. I think one of the strong things about the book structurally is that on rereading it, both the mystery and the truth can remain at play at the same time, and that really reflects that sense of duality. Further, I think it represents the context that that the book was written in, to show us the strength and bond between men, friendship, dedication, and that that sense that to be a friend means to accept someone even when you don't